How's it going, guys? Thank you for tuning in to another video. Today we're doing a little bit of a modification on my 2019 Mustang GT. Now there's not a lot of things that I dislike about the car, but except for one major thing that absolutely drives me crazy. Now I'm kind of a neat freak. I like to keep my cars looking really clean and sharp at all times, and one thing that gets in the way of that is the front wheels. Now the front wheels on my 2019 Mustang GT become dirty in just about a couple miles as soon as the car is detailed. The reason being is these cars have the factory Brembo brakes up front. They're great brakes. They do a great job of stopping the car, and they perform really well. The only problem is they create a ton of brake dust, and the more I use the brakes, the more dust they create. It's just the way they are. They bite really well, but the pads in there are just very dusty. So in order to go ahead and fix that, today we're installing some PowerStop Z26 brake pads on the front, and I wanted to give a big shout out to PowerStop for sending me the PowerStop Extreme Z26 pads for the Mustang. So they sent me a full kit. I'm not going to go ahead and install the rear today just because my rear pads don't produce a lot of brake dust just yet, and they're not due to be replaced. But as soon as they are, I'm going to go ahead and swap over to the Z26. They are great performing pads. I have installed them in my Challenger previously, and I've been very happy. I don't have to clean the Challenger wheels as often, maybe once a month compared to every other week or every other couple of days previously. So it's a pretty easy swap. We're going to go ahead and knock it out. I'm going to wash the car first, and then we're going to pull the car into the garage and get some work done to it. I'm also installing the Brembo lettering onto the calipers, since I painted those red, as you guys have probably seen in a previous video. If you haven't, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link at the very top so you guys can check it out, or in the description. Also, if you're interested in picking up these brake pads that I am going to install today, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description. It'll make your life a lot easier, trust me on that. So let's go ahead and install the pads. Guys, so they are looking nice and clean now. Dried them off, so we can go ahead and take them off and get to working on the brakes. Here we go. Okay, go side real quick, and now we can remove the wheel. There's the wheel, and there's our caliper. Now you can see the caliper looks nice and good. It's red, but it's very dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up real quick. I think it looks pretty good for a do-it-yourself at-home type of a paint job. I'm pretty pleased with the results. Okay, so now in order to go ahead and remove the brakes from this car, it's pretty simple actually. They make it really easy for us, which is great. All you gotta do, there's a bolt right here, and there's two push pins that you gotta hammer out, are these two right here. So you gotta hammer these out, remove this pin, and then this will come right out. Bolt off can be a bit of a struggle. And that's it. We can push this bad boy out. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on these, pushing these pins out. You can get a push pin, or if you're like me, don't have one, there's a lot of other stuff you can use. This is my hammer. Okay, they're in now. Okay, there's one. That one's all the way through. Let's go ahead and do the bottom one. It's nice to make this super easy for you to work on. It's really one of the easiest brake pad things to change that you can think of, to be honest. And there we go. Top one is out. Toss that down. Bottom one's out. Toss that down. Our clip is out. Now to get this bad boy out. Looks like this one's going to be the trouble one today. But let's see if I can just... Yep, there we go. Just like that. And now this one's out as well. And the brake pads come out pretty easy. All you got to do is kind of slide them out just like that. There's our first brake pad. It's going to be very dusty. The second one will be the same deal. Just want to slide it out, kind of push it from the front a little bit, help sliding it out from the back. And there we go. So those are our old pads. Now let's go ahead and get our new ones. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of wipe this area down, clean it up a little bit. So here are my new pads right here. Once again, big shout out to PowerStop for hooking it up. Just like so. All right, there we are. Got some new tensioners on there, as well as some brake grease. Here are both the pads. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some brake grease to the back of them and reinstall them. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of brake grease on the back of them. Apply a little more. I just wanna kind of rub this on the surface. Helps with the pistons not getting stuck and seized on. And bam, that's one side ready. Get the other one ready right here. And we are done. Nice and easy. Go ahead and slide the first one in. Just like that. Second one. Once again, I want to push the pistons in. Slide this one in as well. Alright guys, so I just have to wiggle around a little bit and now it's sliding right in. Center everything up where it needs to be. And we're going to go ahead and reinstall our pins. Pretty easy, most part. Now I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this. So this is going to be kind of in the middle right here where it's going to go dip into this groove. This is going to be towards the top. You want to go ahead and slide your pin in and center your brake pad so that it catches. So there we go. Should slide through now. There we go. That's one. Push this through. Just like that. Push it all the way in. There we go. Now we're going to get our final pin in at the top. Once again, line everything up. Guide it through. This one side. And now we can just hammer it all the way in and we'll be good to go. Put our nut back in the back here. Grab our hammer. Tap it in a couple times. There it is, coming up through the front. And we'll do the same thing on this side. And there we have it. Clean the rotors off one more time. All new hardware is installed. Now let's go ahead and tighten that bolt. And that will be it. Super simple. Do it at home type of project. That will save you a lot of time cleaning. So there's our first rotor done. So we can go ahead and work on the second one now. Before I go ahead and put the wheel back on, I will be installing the decal for the Brembo pad. Here we go. All right, got one chance at this. Let's go ahead and make it sure that it's a good one. All right, there we go. Brembo logo is on. Slide down, just gotta make sure that it's on there good. And now I can remove this, pull this back. There we go. Nice. Looks really good. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of clear just to spray it over the Brembo lettering, just to make sure that it doesn't come off. So just make it pretty quick 2 passes and we should be good. And there we go. All right, boys, that is all she has for this side. Go ahead and put everything back together and wrap it up. All right, now she comes down slowly, just enough so we can tighten her up. Alright guys, getting ready to head out. We have a little helper today. Chana's coming along with us. She wanted to go for a ride too. You like the noise?
Yeah.
Now when you first get in the car and you have new brake pads, make sure you pump the brakes a couple times just to make sure that they're grabbing. So I just did that. let the car cool off a little bit, or sorry, warm up, and then we'll be ready to head out. For the braking procedure on new brake pads, what I usually do is 4 hard stops. So when you do hard stops, you want to go from like 45 down to like 5 miles an hour, but you don't want to stop, because if you stop, you'll leave marks on the rotors. So you want the discs to always be spinning and moving forward, even if it's a little bit. So you're gonna do 4 hard stops, kind of from 45 to 5 miles an hour, and then you'll do like 35 to 10 miles an hour 4 times as well, but a little softer, and then you'll drive around with the brakes for 15-20 minutes, get them to cool off, and that should be good for braking. That's what I've done in the past, and it's worked out pretty good for me. So let's go ahead and hit the road, and then we'll go ahead and show you exactly how I do my braking procedure on new pads. Okay, so we hit the road. Now I don't want to stand on the brakes, so what I'm going to do is just letting the car slowly kind of just roll, you know, to stop, and then very lightly getting it to stop on its own. I don't want to hit the brakes or anything like that, because if I do, I might have the pads, you know, break in uneven, and that's the worst thing that could possibly happen right now. So when I come to a stop, I just want to come to a stop very gently and then let off the brakes. So I'm not holding the brakes right now, just so that the pads are not touching the rotors. And make sure you do this in a safe area. So I'm not going to do this on the road with a bunch of cars around me. I'm going to an area much quieter, away from everyone, to do it. So that way when I do my hard stops, I'm not risking someone hitting me from behind. So be smart about this, guys. Don't do it in the middle of traffic or anything like that. Not a smart place to do it. Go somewhere a little dead, quiet, where you don't have anyone else around you, and then you can go ahead and knock this out. Alright guys, so we came to a nice quiet area. Now we can go ahead and show you how to do the first part of the braking procedure. So we're gonna go up to like 40 miles an hour and then just do some braking. So here we go, we're at 40 and we're gonna brake. So one more time, we're gonna just build it up to 40 and brake. And once again, I'll let the car roll up to 40. There's 40. And we hit the brakes. They're working really well. Make sure the car keeps rolling. 40, one more time. And brake. Let the car keep rolling just to make sure it's nice and smooth. No rough marks on your pads. So once again, up to 40. There's 40. And we're gonna brake. And the brakes are feeling really good. So now we'll do one last one of those. Okay, so I'm letting the car just roll off. Now we'll do a few more from 35, and this time just a little less aggressive. So and slow it down. We'll speed it back up. And slow it down. And you might smell something, it's all right, because we are riding the brakes pretty hard. You are burning off that kind of like protective material or whatever, the first layer of the brake pad, so that's okay. Don't be alarmed if you do smell a little bit of something. It just means that the brakes are working. All right, boys, so I'm gonna go ahead and conclude the video right here. The pads are broken in, rotors are looking really good. We'll stop right here and show you how everything looks, because it seems like no one's here. All right, let's show them. All right, well, we're in the middle of nowhere, but let's go ahead, show you final results of everything we've done lately to the car. So as you can see, calipers are done, decals are on. Looking pretty fabulous if you ask me. and obviously the new pads are in and everything like that, so they're nice and secure. Warmed up. I'll show you the other side as well. So braking procedure one more time, just going to walk you through it. 4 stops from 40 to around 5 miles an hour, and then 4 stops from 35 to around 10 miles an hour. Drive around, let it cool off, and you should be good to go. You might smell a little bit of brake, you know, fresh brake smell. It's all right. Brakes are just getting their first kind of warm up. And yeah, man, I think it looks really, really good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This was a little project I did at home, so we painted the calipers, applied decals, as well as swapped over to carbon ceramic brakes for less brake dust and easier cleaning overall. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. My name is Rush, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.